Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to this edition of 60 Seconds with a Supt. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this one is going to be a little longer than 60 seconds because we have some great and exciting news of a new partnership that is developed in Terrell County Schools for the purpose of safety and security. I know that a lot of us have had our minds around COVID, and that's the pressing issue right now. But however, the overall safety of our students and staff members and our visitors in our building has always been at the forefront. And so this morning, actually it's morning because we're recording it, but you'll see it this evening. This afternoon, we actually have Miss Stephanie Raby. She is one of the product specialists and probably some fancy director, really important person with Enforce 911. And this is a new program that we're going to be introducing into the county. So, Ms. Stephanie, thank you for joining us this morning to this evening when our staff and students and community will see it. But talk to us a little bit. First of all, tell us exactly what your position is with Enforce.
Sure. So thank you for the introduction. And we at Enforce Technology are very excited to be partnered with Tyrrell County Schools for sure. It's an honor and a privilege to help. And basically our company has designed a law enforcement centric software to be able to reduce overall response time of your law enforcement partners, your sheriff's office, to the school in the event that there is an emergency. We pride ourselves in school safety. We want our teachers, staff, faculty, all to have the tools they need in addition to the training they need to be able to handle said events that unfortunately, are prevalent in this day and age.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing. And then one thing was, and how the program came to us was actually through our school SRO, Mr. Jimmy Shelton, Officer Jimmy Shelton. And Jimmy had some conversation with our sheriff, Mr. Kevin Sawyer, and he was full buy-in. And so even with this is a partnership not only through the school system and Enforce, it is actually Enforce the school system in the Terrell County Sheriff's Department, because Sheriff Sawyer has signed off, and we've had individuals at the Sheriff's Department and the school system that have been trained, and there's software that the Sheriff's Department has access to. Can you kind of talk to us about that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So each organization has a software that's slightly different, but basically what it does, it enables a teacher or staff or faculty member within a school to send an alert and notify law enforcement that there is an emergency going on in the building. The second fold to that, which makes it so valuable, is that there's a communication piece. So now, traditionally, if you were to call 911, there's a gap in communication where whoever is making the call cannot relay that information to others in the building, since they're on the phone with dispatch. However, with our technology, everyone in the building would be made aware and then empowered to act accordingly based on their trainings. So an alert or the actual notification goes out not only to those inside the building, but also to your corresponding law enforcement agency, which is your sheriff's office down in Tyrrell. So that way they get the message, they see all the communication, and they can then end the threat as soon as possible, keeping, again, of course, safety as a #1 priority.
And one of the things that I liked about it when I saw the technology, not only that we can run it on our district devices as far as our laptops and our computers, if I'm not mistaken, the teachers have access to it, because let's be honest, if there's a threat taking place in your building, unfortunately, first thing you're not going to grab is your laptop. You're definitely not, you may not be run, hiding, and fighting by your computer. So there's actually the ability that if the teacher or if the teacher has access to his or her phone, they can actually still send that alert. And with that alert, not to give away a bunch of the security features, it streamlines location, and for us to be able to immediately respond, as you said earlier, with a reduced response time to the immediate threat within a school building. God forbid we have the need for it. But that was one of the things that I like, because honestly, I'm sitting here now with 2 phones, right? And most of the time they're in my pocket. So even if we're not near those other devices, we still have that opportunity to deploy help to get it to our families, well, not our families, but to our students and staff members in a timely fashion.
Absolutely. And the same actually works for the law enforcement side. So not only can they receive the notification and all the communication at dispatch, but simultaneously they can see it on their MDTs in the in-car computers, as well as on their cell phones as well. So it's a very flexible, easy to use system that's basically guaranteed to work across all devices and all platforms as well.
Well, I can tell you this. I mean, working with the company has been a breeze. Guy, your whole team up there, the individuals, that we've been working with, honestly, since last school year, since Jimmy brought it to us. And this was something, even with COVID being out, we thought it was important because even though our students are in our building, our staff is still there, and they're just as important
Absolutely.
to providing them with safety. And then, once we open back up, we'll have more of our visitors get there. So it is definitely something that I encourage, and I'm looking very forward to a long-lasting relationship in partnership with Enforce Technology, as I still call it, Enforce 911, because that's what shows up on my emails as well. But I definitely thank you. Ms. Rabbit, before I let you go, is there anything else that you would like to say to our constituents and stakeholders here in Terrell County Schools for? I'll let you go in this, if you couldn't hear, she's up there north. You hear that hard A, as she said, law enforcement. I can't even get it with my southern drawl. But anything else, Ms. Stephanie, you would like to share?
On behalf of Enforce Technology, we just like to say thank you very much, and we are here to support both you and your staff, your students, and of course your law enforcement partners as well. This is a very tough time for you all in the education space, so we, have you close in our hearts, and we wish you the best. And thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I thank every one of you for tuning in this evening, as this has been an extended version of 60 Seconds with the Supt. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
60 Seconds with the Supt.